I was wrong about that bet. I couldn't have been more wrong.
The Cowboys
They
looked
looked bad with
shitty right away.
from the second the
For
game
this
started.
man, Mike McCarthy is a burglar. He makes money,
Just
millions of dollars
he's
every year just by existing.
he's professionally bad at his job.
And
Like
it's
that's
just
his job, being
it,
bad at it.
it's just a reminder. Again, I know that Aaron Rodgers has made many mistakes and his opinions about COVID are so dumb and wrong. But Mike McCarthy is the reason why these idiots on sports radio can say, and also, frankly, it seems like it was bigger than him too. The Green Bay organizational structure of we only draft and we only develop and we never get anybody interesting in terms of free agency, and we won't take a receiver or skill position player in the first round. Just like
It's worked out really well.
outdated organizational philosophy. But Mike McCarthy was a huge reason that Aaron Rodgers, who was the most physically talented quarterback that we've ever seen until now, maybe this new era of Mahomes, Allen, and even Herbert, who perhaps we'll get into, the one of the greatest ever. And for my money, if he had the right organization around him, would be the greatest of all time. Mike McCarthy ruined that, and he's the reason that everybody can say like loser Aaron Rodgers choker. I mean, that is his legacy, and I think this Dak injury, who, by the way, Dak was not playing well before, looked bad before. CeeDee Lamb does not seem to be ready to be the one wide receiver on their team that can make a play. That's not necessarily his fault because everybody's just going to double him, and he's not this physically imposing guy that's going to be able to, I don't know, like be like Jamar Chase and fight over double teams. But they do not have many playmakers, and Ezekiel Elliott looks like shit.
And there's no release valve. Michael Gallup is injured, so there's not even a secondary target. You can only get so much offensively out of Dalton Schultz. Otherwise, I'm not even saying I this is coming from someone
Dalton
who
Schultz,
likes him as a player,
yeah.
but he is not going to be ripping off 70-yard gains for you. He's not going to be putting up 100+ yards each game. Like that passing offense is currently as it stands going into week 2, Cooper Rush throwing to CeeDee Lamb. And the offensive line, Tyron Smith is out, so Tyler Smith is filling in at left tackle. He's a rookie. He got drafted in April or May, whenever the draft was.
And
Connor
he was
Williams,
seen as a project.
Yes, he's a incredibly raw but a talented athlete who they ideally wanted, I think, to start inside so he could work out to left tackle with Smith still there.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyron Smith is out, so Tyler Smith has to come in. Connor Williams got injured as well, so they're now down a left guard as well. So we're going to have next week for the Dallas Cowboys their backup Cooper Rush with two of their linemen injured, no Michael Gallup, and just CeeDee Lamb and Zeke basically as the skill position players. Like, it's kind of a nightmare
against a hungry and pissed Cincinnati Bengals team. We're not making our picks yet, but that's going to be up there for me.
Yeah, that's not. I actually didn't even realize they were playing the Bengals. Yeah, if anything, if Burrow's going to come off pissed off after a 5-turnover game, there probably couldn't be a better matchup than the Cooper Rush-led Cowboys going into week 2.
So, anyway, it jumped off the screen how bad they looked. The only bright spot for them was Micah Parsons, who continues to be a force. And somebody I wanted the Giants to draft, and they traded down, and that was the first round pick that they got, which was good trade. Wait, no, that wasn't the right draft. Damn, hold on. I might be wrong about that.
He had 2 sacks, right, Parsons, or something like that. He was definitely eating when he was on the line. The only lapse he had is when Leonard Fournette really just like knocked him. Kind of. I'm not sure if he actually even saw it coming, but that was basically the only misstep Parsons had. But yeah, I agree.
I was right about that, by the way. Yeah. Anyway, so but yeah, right, exactly. So the Cowboys looked terrible right away, but the Bucs defensively looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the offense might be a work in progress. Brady, they were rolling him out a lot, and his foot speed looks a little slow. He's afraid to stand in the pocket and get pummeled, but Randy Gregory's gone, and I don't know if the Cowboys even had the firepower to do that. The red zone offense was a bit of a concern, but I have faith in the Bucs, and I have faith in Todd Bowles working with the defense to make them even more stout. They looked really, really good, and those two linebackers that they have there are ballers. I loved Devin White coming out of college.
Yeah,
He's
he's
still
fantastic. He's
amazing.
great.
So the Bucs are going to be players in a really weak NFC,
And
but the story of the game to me is how terrible the Cowboys looked
absolutely.
off the jump.
And for the Bucks, like speaking of line needing line help, I mean it is not ideal that Ryan Jensen, their center, is most likely going to be out for most of the season because he certainly had a really really fantastic connection with Brady throughout the years that he's been with the Bucks, and he's also just like a famous like demon on the field. Like he's
Hmm.
just like absolutely one of the nastiest guys on the field when he plays. So missing that tenacity and missing his play, I'm sure is something to keep an eye on. And it looks like Donovan Smith, one of their other linemen, may have sustained an injury as well. So that's obviously something to keep an eye on. But like you said, I just think the organization is sound enough that like they can kind of filter in replacements without it being an enormous liability. I could be wrong, but I think that's something that really separates certain teams from certain teams
Yeah.
is when fill-ins or when replacements or substitutes don't completely derail what you're trying to do on the field.
And frankly, the Bucks and the Rams, who are two of the teams that have won the Super Bowl in the last 3 years, they both have this philosophy that is we're gonna get big name guys and we're bringing them in. And to bring it back to Mike McCarthy and what's going on with the Packers, like that has to be, I think, a part of the calculation. It makes it easier when you have Brady there. I understand that, but that's on the organization to sell that to guys. And just drafting and developing is not going to do it. You have to supplement with free agency. This isn't 1965.